Well, it's lovely to have our next guest joining us on Labour Day Monday. They've popped in for a chat with an amazing success story to tell you about. It's student Teone Kahu and Head of Drama Robert Gilbert, of course, at Aranui High School. So thank you very much, gentlemen, for popping in. This young man, Teone, you may have recognised and seen him on our screens recently, doing incredible things in dramatic arts. But Robert is going to tell us a little bit about kind of the introduction and Teone's start. So can you fill us in on that, Robert?
Yes, well, he's had an extraordinary year, but back in February, right at the very beginning of February, Teone was in the new intake for Year 13 drama students at Aranui High School. We have a theatre academy. That means students wanting to have a strong theatre study can almost major, I suppose, in that subject at Year 13, along with other subjects. That's
wonderful to have that there, isn't it?
Oh, it's fantastic.
Yeah,
I mean, it started out with rugby academy, oh, crikey, must be about 12, 13 years ago now, and it's expanded through the school to other areas.
Brilliant.
So the Theatre Academy has done quite well over the last few years, and I guess Teone saw that and decided that maybe he'd like to give it a shot. But of course, he'd had no theatre or drama or acting experience when he came to us, but a heck of a lot of charisma, and I think he's grabbed the ball by the horns and made the most of his year.
So can you remember what it was like when Teone first kind of stepped into this, the dramatic arts scene?
Well, he was a pretty confident young man, but he didn't hold back. He said he wanted to become an actor, and I like that. I like young folk who know what they want to do. But of course, he had to do a bit of work first, so we had to sort of find out what he was made of. And the first opportunity was at the regional Sheila Wynne Festival of Shakespeare in Schools. That was just a little bit before Easter, so we'd auditioned for that production that we were entering that year, and then rehearsed the 4 or 5 weeks, I suppose, leading up to it.
Gosh, that's not long at all to go and do an amazing job there after having just such a short rehearsal time. That's great. Yeah,
well, I think all schools are in the same sort of situation. We've got to fit it in and around curriculum commitments and that sort of thing. I think Teone was probably a little bit startled to be given the lead role, but it was clear really from the outset that he did have something special, and our job was to give him the skills to put with his talent, and I think he's done that quite successfully.
So what was that like for you, or when was it that you actually first thought, no, I do love acting, this is something that I want to try?
When I first started, I was real nervous because everyone else had been doing drama and I had no idea what I was doing. And I walked in and I had to audition for Macbeth and I got it. And I was like, I was wrecked, but at the same time I was so nervous. I was like, I didn't even know who Shakespeare was. It was a Shakespeare competition. But the moment that I fell in love with drama was probably the moment I stood on stage, and just that feeling, being on stage, was like nothing that I've ever felt before, and from then onwards, that's what I knew I wanted to do.
So you kind of discover then that it's your calling, isn't it? You must be so thrilled to have found that, I guess, at an early age too. Yeah,
I'm glad I found it, and Mr. Gilbert has been a massive help. Like, otherwise I probably would have just done something stupid, but it's just it's an amazing feeling being able to do something that I love doing and enjoying it. Like, I can do it as a job and I enjoy doing what I do, so it's a great feeling.
And doing amazingly well to excel in Shakespeare, as Robert, and anyone who's ever done Shakespeare will contest to, it's not easy. How did you find it being Macbeth?
I found it real hard, to be honest. When I first started, my first language was Te Reo Māori, so I had real bad THs and stuff like that, so it was a struggle at the start, but Mr. Gilbert kept backing me up and telling me, just helping me techniques, so highlight the THs and get the sentence structure better, and then eventually it just started to click from there, and I find it way easier now. So yeah.
So thankfully something at some point clicked, and you find it relatively easy now. Yeah, thank goodness for that. So tell me a little bit about being chosen for the Golden Globes, the Globe Theatre. In London, the Shakespeare Theatre.
When I got chosen, it's called the Shakespeare Globe Centre New Zealand Young Shakespeare Company. And when I got chosen for that, I was just sitting. I'm pretty sure I was rolling on the ground for 20 minutes, just excited, just knowing I'm having a chance to perform at one of the best theatres in the world, and being one of the top 20, especially starting only 6 months ago. So it's just a great experience, and it's a good feeling knowing that that's going to be me next year.
So when is that happening next year?
It happens in July, and we go there for 3 weeks. So we'll perform at the Globe, and then we tour So it's going to be a great experience.
It's going to be an incredible experience, and hopefully you might be able to get a little further north up to Stratford-upon-Avon as well, and even see, you know, Shakespeare's birthplace, which would be incredible too. So is it with 20 other students in New Zealand?
Well, it started off, they have a competition, it's like the Sheila Win, and then from there they pick one direct entry that represents like the area like Canterbury, and then one goes to nationals. Right. And then one for a 5-minute piece, and then the judges there pick 45, I think it is 45, to go to the production, like the national school production, and then from there onwards they have a weekend, a whole week with us, and they find out, and then they'll choose only 20 to tour. So when I got the phone call from Dawn Sanders to say that I was the first that she wants to offer, I was just wrapped. I was just like, rang up Mr. Gilbert, I was just like, how much does it cost to send a postcard from London? So it was just great, like knowing that I can be up there with the people that have been practicing all their life. And
are you going to have to give up rugby for this, seeing as it's happening in the winter months?
Yeah, at the same time as the World Cup, so it was like, a bit gutted. But rugby was my calling one day, but now that I've got drama, I don't need anything else. I can always work on something different, like try a different style of play.
That's right.
So
you're on, it'll put you in good stead.
Drama it is.
Drama it is. Robert, obviously help may be needed in getting Teone over to England as well, because of course that doesn't come cheap, as anyone knows.
Yes, as well, the success is a double-edged sword. So it's $8,000 he needs, but that's before he even thinks about any spending money for while he's there, because there's tuition and chaperones and a lot of travel once they're over in England. So that's the bottom line. So we're starting already. We're resurrecting our production of Macbeth and another play that we'll be putting on at school on the 19th of November as a fundraiser. And I know that Teone and his whānau already are putting their heads together about some ideas that they have about how they can help contribute towards that amount of money.
Yeah, so there'll be lots of things happening that you need to keep your eyes and ears out for, because you might be able to contribute as well when you see these things around. Teone, you're going to leave us now with a monologue from Macbeth, which is your forte, so we're very lucky. This is a real treat to see this, so take it away in your own time, Teone.
All right. Is this a dagger which I see before me? The handle toward my hand. Come, let me clutch thee. Art thou not fatal vision, sensible to the feeling as to sight? Or art thou but a dagger of the mind, proceeding from the head, oppress brain? Yeah.
Wow. Well, we can see why. Now you can see why too. He was chosen. Thank you so much, Teone.
Thanks for having us.
Wow. Amazing, isn't it? Absolutely incredible. Good job. Thank you very much.